Lyndon Johnson said of Methodism, "Your Methodist creed opposed every form of social, economic, and moral waste. Therefore, I speak of my own accord, Tory Haynes. I name and confront the moral waste of this current presidential administration. How can we say, but they did this and but they did that? Donald Trump would rather provoke war, turn the United States into a war ground, and hurl racist and demeaning caricatures at the Obamas than address allegations concerning his involvement and the involvement of his friends in the Epstein sex trafficking operation and call for investigations and hearings of those named and redacted from the Epstein files. As a pastor, let me be clear, sex trafficking is abhorrent. And it should not have taken this long for the Department of Justice to release the files that they did. And they still have thousands of files left to release. The Book of Discipline of the United Methodist Church states human trafficking entails the buying and selling of human beings for the purposes of forced or indentured labor, including private and commercial sexual exploitation. Sex trafficking is abhorrent. It violates basic human rights that God gives in Genesis 1. I give you dominion and power, and self-control and will. It exploits the vulnerabilities of the weakest members of society, those who are especially vulnerable, including minors and women and children, migrants, displaced people, and others living in poverty, those whom we're called to serve. Yet we see in the public square that they have been exploited. The accusations referenced in the Department of Justice files concern crimes against underage girls and boys. Justice must be served. Truth must be revealed. Moral relativism in the name of portraying a form of godliness must be rejected. It is hypocritical to claim you're pro-life. But you won't address those in the Epstein files, those who are accused of pedophilia, including Trump being named in the files associated with minor girls. They released so many files the other day that they didn't want you to go through them and meticulously see all of the powerful millionaires and billionaires in these files. Some were returned after they were dismissed by the Department of Justice after an outcry. Separate yourself from the cult loyalty of Trump and evangelical complicity. The photos that you've seen in this have been attributed to Brute Publishing, and many of them have come from Trump's social media account himself. Examine yourself, but most importantly, examine this country. It is not un-American to call for justice, to proclaim truth, and to demand righteous alignment where there is moral degradation and waste. You want to talk about waste, fraud, and abuse? There's moral waste, there's moral fraud, and there's moral abuse at the highest points of this nation. When will we call for waste, fraud, and abuse to be eliminated in our White House, in our Congress, in all the places that people have perpetrated violence against minors, young girls, young boys, immigrants? It must happen, and justice must be demanded today. Don't focus on anything else. Don't let your attention be strayed by popular stories and gossip. Keep your focus maintained on the Epstein files until this nation has brought justice for everyone who has been harmed and traumatized by people who thought they could live by another code of morality.